So come to standing. Oh yes, come to standing.
Nobody else has.
Just us. Lift and roll the shoulders. Just press the feet into the ground and just mentally run your mind, your thought process from the base chakra at the perineum up to the next chakra between the perineum and the navel. And it's different for each person. It's almost on that midway line there. Behind the navel, behind the heart, behind the throat, at the forehead, just either between the eyebrows or the third eye, just the middle of the forehead. Again, that can vary. Top of the head. Just, again, lift and roll the shoulders. Turn the head to the left as you breathe in. Turn the head to the right as you breathe out. Into the left. And out to the right. Into the left. And out to the right. Come back to the centre. Lift and roll the shoulders. Bringing the hands to the heart centre. Breathing in, soften the knees. Hands up. Palms together. Come through the centre as you bend the knees. Hands onto the shins. Half lift. Breathe out, softening. Breathe in, half lift. And breathe out, stay where you are. Breathing in, soften the knees, press the feet down, roll up vertebra by vertebra, standing. Hands up, stretch the fingers, and breathing out, hands down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees as you circle the arms up. Palms touch. Come through the centre. Coming into half salute to the sun and half lift. Hands on the shins. Half lift. Breathing out, soften in. Breathe in, half lift. Stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, soften the knees, press the feet down, and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Hands up, stretch up, and then circle the wrists down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Come to the top of the mat. So this will be salute to the sun, but modified. Hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees, circle the hands up and stretch up. Palms together. Hands through the heart centre. Soften the knees. And come to bring the hands to either side of the feet. Bend as much as you need to get your hands on the floor. Step or slide your right foot back. Have your right leg high. Right knee to the ground. Slide your left leg back. Feet can be tucked or flat. Breathing in, cat-cow, dipping your back. Breathing out, rounding chin to chest. Breathing in, dipping the back. Breathing out, chin to chest. Breathing in, chin to chest. And then flatten the feet if they were tucked and bring the bottom towards the heels and stretch out your hands. So you don't have to bring your bottom totally to the heels, just you can have your bottom up, just a nice stretch along the back. Your tummy is in towards your spine. The perineum is engaged inwards and upwards. And then bring your hands once more back to tabletop. And If you're going to stay without doing downward dog, then just dip your back and around chin to chest. If you are going to do downward dog, tuck your toes, lift up into downward dog, walk the dog by bending one knee and then bending the other knee, and then drop the knees to the ground so you're coming back onto your knees again. And this time, move your hands to the left, step your right foot up, and hands either side of your right foot. Tuck your left toes underneath and just feel the stretch in your right hip. And then bring your right knee back so that you're kneeling. And toes are tucked or flat. And just sway your hips gently from side to side. And you can look over one shoulder as you sway and then to the other shoulder. You'll find that you'll naturally move your head in one direction and you're likely to move your hips away from the neck in the opposite direction. And then this time, move your hands to the left. Step up with your right foot. Hands back to the right foot. And kneel up. So if your balance is wobbling, you can either bring your right foot further out to the right, and optionally you can tuck your left toes under. If that suits you, it might not do. And then lift and roll your shoulders. Breathing in, raise the hands up, stretching up, and breathing out, turn to the right. You might want to put your right hand onto your right waist and your left hand against the outer right thigh and turn to the right. Just breathing in and breathing out. And then come back to the centre. Raise the hands up, stretch the hands, and then lower the hands to either side of the right foot. Slide the right foot back and just sway the hips from side to side. Before we come to the other side, come to the centre, move your hands to the right, allowing space for the left foot to come up. Your left foot can go more to the left if that works for you, or you can tuck your right toes underneath. Lifting up, lift and roll the shoulders, and raising the hands up, stretching the fingers. And then as you breathe out, turn to the left. Your left hand can go on your left waist, and your right hand can go somewhere on the outside of your left thigh, either palms down or palm up. And turn to look over your left shoulder. And then very gently come back to the centre. Bring your hands to either side of your left foot. Slide the left foot slightly in, and then slide the left foot back, your back to tabletop. And again, you can have your toes tucked under or flat. Come to turn your right palm up and slide your right hand behind your left hand, bringing the right shoulder and the right side of the head to the mat. Your left hand can stay where it is, or it can slide to the left outer corner of diagonally of your mat. Just again, be comfortable. If you press your left hand down, you'll get more of a twist on your right side. Tummy in, perineum engages even here. then to come out, press your left hand down, tummy comes in, perineum engages, and slide your right hand out, coming back to tabletop. And once more, sway your hips from side to side. And then come to the other side, so turning your left palm upwards and sliding your left hand or your left arm through behind your right, bringing your left side of the head and your left shoulder towards the ground. Your right elbow lifts up and you press your right hand down. The more you press your right hand down, you might like to slide it to the corner edge of your right side of your mat, the more you twist on the left side, you're opening up under the right side of the arm. And then tummy in, perineum engages to come back. And then very gently drop the bottom to the side and extend the legs outwards. Just bounce the legs, circle your ankles in one direction, circle your ankles in the opposite direction. Lift and roll the shoulders, just lightly connect the hands to the mat and just sitting up. And then hands relax out to the side, legs in a slight V. Bend up your right knee, open the knee to the right. The inside of your right sole of the foot is aimed towards the left side, the inner left thigh. Hands down, just lengthen the body and then turn to face the left outstretched leg. Raise the arms up, palms together, bend through the elbows, and then just slide the hands down the left leg. Janushavasana, head to knee pose. So this is calming for the nervous system, and it begins to activate the vagus nerve, which is implicated in anti-inflammatory and calming response to stress. Tummy in and walk the hands up the left leg. Hug the right knee into the chest. Sit up, tummy in, and then stretch out the right leg. Just bounce the legs, maybe lift the flesh out from underneath. And then hug the left knee in. Sit up, tummy in, and open the left knee to the left. You don't have to be exact, it's just a gentle opening to the left. Hands to either side of the body, lengthen the body, turn towards the right leg a little bit, raising the arms up, and then tummy in, bend the elbows, and just slide the hands along the right leg. Just breathing in and out. And very gently slide the hands up the right leg. Support the left leg, hugging the left knee into the chest. Slide the left leg out, bounce your legs. And then subtly bend the legs. We're going to come to lying. Knees bent, feet hip width apart. hands palms down. Just turn the head to the left. Eyes can be open or closed. Come to the centre and turn the head to the right. Come to the centre. Hug the left knee into the chest and stretch the right leg out along the mat. Just enjoy hugging the left knee into the chest. And then rock the entire body over to the right. You might like to use your left elbow to support you. Your left sole of the foot can rest on the top right thigh. Your left knee won't come to the ground. Your left hip is rolling off the ground. Right hand goes on somewhere the left thigh. Left hand goes on your waist. You, for a greater stretch, might like to stretch out or extend your right heel and then relax it. And your head can look up, or it can look to the left. Eyes can be open or closed. And if you want a greater stretch on the left side, then with a bent left elbow, stretch up behind you, resting the back of the hand on the mat. That's a greater stretch. And it stretches out under the arms, under the left arm. And if you want a really good stretch, then open your left arm to the left like a book, palms down, making sure though that your shoulder is on the mat, and that's quite a tough opening. So just choose where you feel you want to open to. Any rotation, and particularly like this where you're supported on the ground, is very helpful for realigning the spine, but safely because you're being held by the ground and your muscles aren't being asked to support you like they are normally when you stand up. And then very gently rock onto your back, palms down. Bend both knees, both feet are on the ground, and you might feel that you want to just lift and straighten out your bottom. Could have got twisted in that rotation that we've just done. And then hugging the right knee into the chest. And in your own time, lengthening out the left leg along the mat. Just enjoying a gentle stretch on the right side. And then very gently roll the entire body to the left, using perhaps your right elbow. The right sole of the foot can rest on the left leg. Right hand starts perhaps on the right waist, left hand somewhere along the outer right thigh. You can extend your left foot heel to just lengthen out the body, stretching and then just releasing. And your right hand can either stay on the right waist, or you can, bending at the elbow, lift the back of the right arm up and the back of the hand rests somewhere on the ground. Or you can open your right arm to the right, palms down, palm down. Or choose your arm position on the right side that suits you. And then your head can look up or slightly to the right, just be relaxed with your head. Eyes can remain open or closed. It's a brilliant stretching the body out with a slight and very safe rotation that really impacts the whole body. It's a very simple pose, but has far-reaching effects. To start to get the benefits from this pose, you need to be here for at least between 5 and 10 breaths. Some yoga classes will keep you here for a little bit longer than that, or a lot longer than that. And then very gently roll once more onto the back. Bend both knees, both feet on the floor to just straighten yourself up. And we're going to do an upside down forward bend to compensate for that rotation. So hug one knee into the chest, hug the other knee into the chest, both knees are hugged into the chest. Clasp your hands behind or underneath your thighs, and then just gently raise both legs up to the ceiling. You can still keep a bend in your elbow, in your knees, and chin slightly, not in, but the back of your neck is long, so your chin isn't up to the ceiling. And if you want to stay like that, that's fine, and depending very much on your arm length, you can walk the hands up the back of the legs. If you've got very long arms, you can hold your big toes, but this is very much down to your anatomy of your arm length, nothing very much else really. And then very gently bend the knees into the chest. Place both feet onto the ground, hip width apart, knees up to the ceiling. Just have your hands either palms down or resting on your abdomen. And then just drop both knees to one side. Your hip will lift off the ground. Breathing in, just engage your tummy slightly in to bring the knees upright. Perineum comes in. And then both knees drop to the other side and your hip will lift up. And then just a few times swaying the knees from side to side, and just massaging out the top of your bottom, almost across the lower back area. And you can roll so much from side to side that your shoulder almost comes off as well, as your hip just subtly leaves the ground. You might find that your head joins in and there's a gentle roll or movement of the head from side to side. You don't need to think about it, just whatever comes to you naturally. It's fine. It's should be relaxing, because not only are you massaging your body with the weight as you roll, your own weight as you're rolling from side to side, but the sensory aspect of the feeling of the rolling is coming into somatic movement. So you're bypassing the sensory part of the brain, you're just feeling the movement. And then very gently coming into the centre. Hug one knee into the chest and hug the other knee into the chest. And if you've got stiff lower back or stiff hips, this is helpful to hug both knees into the chest. Let both knees drift away to arm's length. Both knees hugging in. And just a few times in your own breath pattern. And then very gently hug the knees in one last time. Just circle both knees in one direction, so that it's circling almost at the base of the spine, around like an old 50p piece size. And then just circle both knees in the opposite direction, so that you're massaging really right at the base of the spine. Come to the centre. And we're going to roll to one side and come up gently to a seated position with our legs out in front of us. So however that works for you. And we're doing a journey, this is Tibetan yoga, and we're doing a journey through the chakras. So we've now moved to the tummy, or Manipura Chakra, navel. Just hands down and cross your left leg over your right at the ankles. Raise the right arm, tummy in, perineum engages, and bring your right arm to the outside of your left thigh. You can have your palm open or down, and left hand behind you. Breathing in, lengthen the body, and as you breathe out, turn to look over your left shoulder. Again, press the hand down, lengthen the body, breathing out, and turn to look over your left shoulder. Your head is the last thing to turn. Tummy in when you've finished your breath out to support you to come back to the centre. Uncross your left ankle. Slide your hands forward as a semi-forward bend, just compensating for that turn that we made. Taking an in and an out breath here. And then sliding the hands up, hands to either side of you, crossing the right ankle over the left. Hands down, lengthening the body. Left hand up, tummy in, perineum engages. Come to bring your left hand over the body, right hand behind. Breathing in, lengthening, breathing out, turning to look over the right shoulder. Lengthen and over the right shoulder. To support you, tummy comes in towards the spine, perineum engages, and that supports your back as you turn to face the front again. Unravel your legs, uncross your legs, and just slide your hands down your shins, a slight forward bend to compensate for the movement that you've made. And then bend both knees, both feet on the floor. This is a core activation, so the core needs to be strong to support the back muscles. Just hold your knees, tummy in, perineum engage. Just walk your feet towards you. That might be enough. You sit up straight and that really pulls your tummy in. You can go a little bit further and just take your feet off the ground. Full boat can be very draining for the lower back, although it's supposed to be strengthening. So if you've got a weak core or a stiff lower back, this might be enough. The next stage is holding under the legs, tummy in, lifting the legs up. And I know that to go into full boat strains my lower back. My core is not that great, but I'll just demonstrate it for you watching perhaps. Really, I'm not very good at this. But then to come out of that, just come forward. And then come to a cross-legged position. I'm going to do a breath work, very brief breathing exercise. So breathing in a step, hold. Breathing in a little bit more. Breathing into the top of the breath, hold, and then breathing out all in one go, through the nose or the mouth. When you're ready, breathing in again, a little step, hold, a little bit more, hold, up to the top, hold, and then breathing out all in one go through the nose or the mouth. And again, a couple of those breaths in your own time. Stepping in, And then we're going to reverse the breath. So we breathe in one big go and then step the breath out, breathing in your own time, one big breath in. And then step it out a little bit, and a little bit, and then completely. And just repeat a couple of breaths in your own time. And make the next one the last one. And just release that breath. Stepping breath is a very easy way to increase your lung capacity. As we get older, our lung capacity can decrease and we don't necessarily notice it. And so it's like blowing up a balloon from the inside. It's something which I realise from talking to people who've been to the Royal Brompton. It's one of the exercises that the Royal Brompton takes from their exercise programme. They take it from yoga to increase your breath in a way that doesn't panic people. I prefer the in-breath to the out-breath. It's easier. And you can stick with the in-breath, but if you want to be very balanced, you might do both. But it's a very, very simple way of increasing the breath capacity. And again, the instruction would be to do it. We just had an introduction, 5-10 breaths. It's all very, very helpful because it slows everything down and it relaxes the lungs. You breathe in more and there's more of an oxygen exchange into the bloodstream, so all your organs start to operate on a greater or more optimal level, but that takes time. So just very briefly, roll to the side. We're going to come up to standing, so however that works for you. Tucking the toes, rolling up. Really bend your knees if you're stiff, and roll up. Use your hands to support against your legs, vertebra by vertebra. We won't stay here for very long. Lift and roll the shoulders. And I'm going to do a Tibetan triangle, which is very different from a normal triangle. Breathing in, raise the right hand. Almost turn the palm inwards and glue it against your right ear. Your left hand holds your thigh and imagine you're between two panes of glass. So when you go over to the side, you're not twisting or bending so that you won't move very far, but it's far more effective to move less but properly than to try and move a greater distance and then compromise the movement. So tummy in, perineum engages, just come over to the left, chin tucks in. You're really not going to go very far at all. You'll feel yourself lurching forward. Try and keep open between those two panes of glass. And then press the feet down, press your hands into your left thigh to support you as you come up and lower the right arm. With a lateral stretch, once you start to come forward, you compromise the lateral stretch and you've lost the integrity of the pose. Right hand on the right thigh, raise the left arm, turn the left palm inwards, glue the left inner upper arm to the ear, chin in, and then just come over. Feel that you're between two panes of glass, so you're really only going to go perhaps a few inches. Once you're there, just hold the pose and then press the right hand into your right thigh to support you as you come up and lower the left arm. Join your thumbs together, raise the arms and just gently sway from side to side. So again, this is a form of lateral stretch. You'll find this in Ayurveda practices. It's called swaying palm tree. It's very soothing. And then come to the centre and then lower the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders, place the hands on the waist and just lift the heels and see how your balance is today. Probably a question of I'm not the best example of this morning. And then lower your heels and just soften your knees to engage your core, and then come up again. Hands together at the heart center. We're going to come down, we're moving through the body, and we're going to come down onto our tummies for a moment, lying on the tummies, knees apart, knees bent, on your elbows, knees slightly apart now, knees bent. You might want to move your elbows out and away from you and just sway your feet from side to side. You might want to cross your hands over, just be comfortable, looking down at the mat, swaying windshield wipers, put on your tummy, and then lower the legs, bring the feet or the knees closer together, tuck both toes, extend the right heel back so your right leg will lift off the ground and relax the right leg. Let the right heel drop out to the side, extend your left heel by lifting the left leg off the ground, releasing the left leg, drop the left heel out to the side and wobble your bottom from side to side. This is lifting at the heart because it's a very subtle back bend. You're stretching your abdominal area, giving more space. In some of the more yin and restorative poses, you would stay here for quite a few minutes. But we're not going to do that. We are going to just roll to the side, bend the knees in, and then come to a very, very gentle sitting upright. And then come to lie on our backs, knees bent. And we move from the heart up one more to the throat center. Palms are down. Just a couple of pelvic tilts. Flattening the back as if you're going to lift your bottom. And then releasing so that the back tailbone rolls to the ground and there's a little gap under your lower back. It's one of the remedial movements you might find for back healing in more tradition, like osteopaths have this, for instance. And you'll feel that the throat is open a little bit, even though your chin's there. The ceiling, but it is a throat thing, and then just release your back onto the ground. And just let your head move from side to side a couple of times. The weight of the head is being supported by the ground. And then just very gently come to let your knees touch, so your feet might be out more to the mat. Just slightly tense your toes and your feet and relax them. Tense your bottom and let your bottom relax. Tense your knees and your legs and relax. Tense your hands, your arms, maybe press your shoulders down into the ground. And then just release and relax. Lift your chest slightly off the ground and then release your chest back down to the ground. Just lift your shoulders up towards your ears and then consciously lower your shoulders away from your ears and relax. Just very gently roll your head from side to side. Just be aware of the breath as it's cooler at the entrance of your nostrils, and as it breathes in, just follow the breath to a point in the centre of the head and breathing out Just let all the breath take away anything that you don't want to do, down through and leave through the soles of the feet. And just repeat that again. Breathe in through the nostrils. And just put into your out-breath anything you don't want. And have a thought for the day. You just think of a couple of times to set your intention for the day ahead, and then just release that thought. And then hug one knee and then the other knee into the chest. Just freestyle as you gently rock from side to side. Or maybe hug your knees into your chest and let them drift away. And then taking your own time to roll to the side, or however, to come up to a seated position to finish the class.